From the Detroit Free Press, it's Thursday, October 15th. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Calling all foodies, Bush's is hiring. Are you passionate about food, looking for growth, development, and excellent wages? Come grow with Bush's and apply online at bushes.com/join our team. That's Bush's, BUSCHS.com/join our team.
I'm Dave Boucher with the Detroit Free Press. A West Michigan congressman announced Wednesday he had tested positive for COVID-19, the disease caused by the coronavirus. Representative Bill Huizenga, a Zeeland Republican, tweeted that he had received the results ahead of an event scheduled with Vice President Mike Pence in Grand Rapids. Huizenga said, quote, "While taking part in off-site testing protocols, I took a rapid test that came back positive for COVID-19. I am awaiting the results of a PCR test, and I am self-isolating until I have confirmed results." He is at least the 21st member of Congress to test positive for COVID-19, but the first from Michigan. Last weekend, he campaigned with U.S. Senate candidate John James and congressional candidate Peter Meijer. Both men have since tested negative for the disease, according to statements from each campaign. President Donald Trump, who recently tested positive for the disease, is scheduled to make a trip to Huizenga's district on Saturday, where he's set to briefly visit Muskegon. As of earlier this week, more than 137,000 Michigan residents have tested positive for the disease, according to state health officials, resulting in nearly 7,000 deaths.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Keith Matheny. A group of non-scientists, most of them women and Native American, think they've discovered the most significant Great Lakes archaeological find in at least a decade. The group was using an underwater remote-operated vehicle in the Straits of Mackinac to take a look at Enbridge's controversial Line 5 oil and gas pipeline, which runs along the lake bottom. But among the other things they saw were stones that looked evenly spaced in linear and circular patterns. If humans did that, it would have occurred when the Straits area was last above water, at the end of the Ice Age, about 10,000 years ago. That correlates with a University of Michigan professor's 2009 finding of similar stone patterns in Lake Huron, believed from an Ice Age hunting culture. The group says the stone patterns warrant further study by tribes, scientists, and the state of Michigan, and that Enbridge should avoid damaging the formations with its proposed tunnel under the Straits for a new oil pipeline.
From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Darcy Moran. 9 young women faced off Tuesday with a man they say violently raped and assaulted them during their time at Eastern Michigan University. The women described during an emotional preliminary examination the graphic details associated with the case against 24-year-old Dustin Durbin of Monroe. They testified that between 2015 and 2019, Durbin pinned them down, raped them as they cried, made unwanted physical contact, and at times advised no one would believe them if they told. Many incidents, they said, took place in his fraternity bedroom at Alpha Sigma Phi. Durbin stood mute to the 13 charges bound over to trial court Tuesday. Exiting the courthouse in Washtenaw, his lawyer cut in to say they wouldn't comment. Durbin is one of 3 known Eastern graduates with fraternity ties, now facing rape accusations from their time at the school. The university has commissioned a Title IX audit in wake of the revelations. EMU has said, however, that a prior internal review found no victims that wanted investigation. For more, check out Freep.com.
I'm Frank Witzel with the Detroit Free Press. This year, we're bringing the fright to you. Yes, the pandemic already is scary, with coronavirus infecting more than 35 million people worldwide, including the President of the United States. If that weren't enough, there's a foiled plot to storm the Capitol and kidnap the governor. But for some of you, Halloween is a time for terror. The safe kind, anyway. Articles and books have long tried to explain why we want to be scared. One theory, it induces a sudden flight or fight response. The body releases dopamine, which gives us a kind of mental and physical high. Another theory, spooky places force us to face social anxieties and unsettled issues. Still, this year has been a tough one for the spook business. But you don't have to go to a house that's been set up to scare you. There are an estimated 1,200 homes in Michigan where spooky stuff has happened and you might not even know it, according to housecreep.com, a website that keeps track of them. So, for folks who like to have spine-chilling moments, but are too afraid to face the real scare of catching the coronavirus, the Free Press found a few places in Metro Detroit where frightening things really happened.
This is Evan Petzold of the Free Press Sports Department. Detroit Tigers outfielder Riley Green got a wake-up call in July's summer camp at Comerica Park. The team's number 4 prospect, projected as a cornerstone of the franchise's rebuild, was already on the fast track to the major leagues. But July's workout forced him to make mental adjustments. The pitching was far more advanced than he had previously seen, and the game itself was much faster. Just over a year prior, he was the Tigers' number 5 overall pick in the 2019 draft out of high school. The 20-year-old's last organized competition was with Single-A West Michigan in 2019. And this time, many of the players he faced were already in the majors or nearing their ascensions, such as pitching prospects Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal. With the minor league season canceled, he was assigned to the alternate training site in Toledo for the 2020 season. Now, participating in the Tigers' off-season instructional league through November 8th, Green thinks he's a better player because of what he learned. He said his swing feels better than it's ever felt before in his life, a product of discovering the importance of being on time with each swing. And his confidence is at an all-time high, thanks to his continued offensive strides. Now, although Green was never in the running for a call-up in 2020, he is making progress. He has earned praise from Hall of Famer Alan Trammell and Vice President of Player Development Dave Littlefield for his abilities on offense. And Littlefield said it wouldn't surprise him if Green moves fast through the organization, meaning a call-up for 2021 is not out of play.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.